The radioactive fallout just keeps pouring from Trump's bigoted and misogynistic reactor that was yesterday's rally at Madison Square Garden. The racist Puerto Rico joke has gone super viral, and I've done 2 reports on it myself, and now the Bulwark is reporting that an even more vile joke was censored by Team Trump, which proves that they had eyes on and approved all the other disgusting rhetoric. I learned of their breaking story by their post on X that said campaign staffers had asked all speakers to submit drafts of their speeches ahead of time. You won't believe what they didn't let this guy say. At the heart of this story is a single word that was meant for Kamala Harris, a shocking word that I will reveal in just a minute, but first, let's look at some excerpts from the article at thebulwark.com. The subheadline reads, Tony Hinchcliffe's set at Madison Square Garden wasn't great for the campaign. It could have been much worse. Donald Trump's campaign was left scrambling Sunday night after roast comic Tony Hinchcliffe made insulting jokes about Hispanic and black people on stage at ex-president's Madison Square Garden rally. The line sparked immediate backlash and even condemnation from fellow Republicans, but 4 top campaign sources said it could have been even worse. The shock comic took the stage early during the MSG rally. In the course of delivering his 11-minute and 40-second set, he called Puerto Rico an island of trash and joked about a black person carving watermelons for Halloween. About 3 hours after the performance, as condemnation was pouring in from the left, right, and center, the Trump campaign was forced to take the rare step of distancing itself from one of their speakers, though it only separated itself from the trash line and not the watermelon one. So it seems that Team Trump did not find the content questionable before the rally, but found it necessary to create some distance afterwards. But there was that one word that was censored by someone with a shred of common sense, and I'll share what it was in just 1 minute. But first, let's look at some of the radioactive backlash.
It's simply embarrassing. It's beneath any precedent.
Look, again, I haven't seen the joke. Maybe it's a stupid racist joke, as you said. Maybe it's not. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to comment on the specifics of the joke.
I think a lot of people are seeing that rally at Madison Square Garden, seeing all those people. Doesn't mean he's going to win the race. But my point is, it's discouraging that so many people would gather and rally to hate speech in America. That it's discouraging and it hurts. I just think it's important to look at the situation, and it's not just, oh my gosh, about the race. It's, oh my gosh, how did we get here? How did we get here where a stadium of people come to hate? That's a different country, a different time.
Mm-hmm. So Team Trump allowed Hinchcliffe a lot of latitude when it came to racist jokes, but they apparently drew the line with one word. The article goes on to say he had a joke calling Vice President Kamala Harris the C word. A campaign insider involved in the discussion about the event told the Bulwark, let's say it was a red flag. A red flag, you think? Yeah, just a small one. And that huge human red flag, Elon Musk, has also lowered himself to that theme when attacking Harris, but there's no one pulling his words back. As the campaign enters its final week, the attacks against Harris have taken on a harsher tone that has left the Trump campaign open to accusations of sexism. The American super PAC financed by billionaire Elon Musk recently released a web ad that repeatedly calls Harris the C word, only later does it say she's a communist. The article goes on to say that campaign advisors are confident that the Hinchcliffe controversy will blow over because they've endured far worse, with one saying, heading into the rally, we were called Nazis. And whoever said that makes a good point. After all, if you're used to being called a Nazi, it gives you great creative freedom with insults, hate, and toxic masculinity that falls below that line. Just imagine there are people who belong to a political party and they're used to being called Nazis. What a bizarro, upside-down political world we live in. And to close out the great comedian kerfuffle of 2024, I'll give Kamala Harris the final word as her team was quick to respond to the Puerto Rico insult with a video that features the opposite tone of a toxic Trump rally. You might describe it with another C word, and that is compassion for Puerto Ricans.
A floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. I will never forget what Donald Trump did. He abandoned the island and offered nothing more than paper towels and insults. Puerto Ricans deserve better. As president, I will always fight for you and your families, and together we can chart a new way forward.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.